1, 2, 3, 4.
Everybody, welcome back to another episode. So this week I'm very, very lucky because I have the wonderful Nikki from Miss Marketing here. So Nikki, I just want you to introduce yourself, who you are, what you do, and then we'll get straight into today's episode.
Hello, and thank you for having me on your podcast. I'm so excited. So basically at Miss Marketing, we help online businesses get more leads and sales using proven strategies. So they are Facebook ads, SEO, and Google ads. So we teach both Facebook ads and SEO, and we also have management services for your SEO, your Facebook ads, and your Google ads.
Amazing. I love that. Now, Nikki and I always work together with almost everything that we do. We have the biggest collaboration together. So Nikki always helps me with my ads. So this week, what we wanted to talk about was reflecting on Black Friday and Cyber Monday and all the ads run at that time, and then what you can do to prepare for ads coming up into the Christmas season. And this goes for e-com and service-based, am I right?
Yes, that's correct.
Sweet. All right, cool. So how did you find Black Friday specifically for you or your clients?
So I didn't run any specific Black Friday sales this year because it wasn't in line with the offers and my new suite of offers that I am creating.
Mm-hmm.
But I did offer them for a number of e-commerce clients, and I found them to be actually really successful. So
Amazing.
for a few of my clients, we started them early.
Mm-hmm.
And that seemed to work really well because before people had spent any money, they were able to actually spend money with with us or with our clients.
Yeah.
Next year, we're going to trial actually doing a shorter period and having more urgency. So maybe just doing it from Black Friday to the Cyber Monday. I also had a couple of clients that just ran it over 2 to 3 days. And that also worked really well because people knew they had a limited time to purchase. And that scarcity and limited time really helped to push people to make a decision during that period. So I did run a few questions as well on my social media to get a bit of an understanding about how people, I guess, their purchasing behavior during that period. And I asked people whether they generally make impulse decisions during this period or whether they have planned decisions, because I know personally I had a bunch of planned purchases that I wanted to make. And if they weren't planned purchases, they were definitely purchases that I knew I needed to make for specific people. So they were things I was going to be looking for specific people, say in my family, like my nieces for Christmas. So the results came back, and primarily people said, just like me, they had both impulsive decisions that they made and planned decisions. So most people, or 80% of the people that I surveyed, said that they had a mix of both. And then there was only 10% that said they went planned, and then 10% that said they went impulsive. And nearly all of the people in the survey said that they wished that their Black Friday sales had gone better, and only one had said that their sales had skyrocketed, which I found sad because for our clients, we had seen a huge amount of sales and we actually smashed all our sales targets that we had. So it was really exciting. Yeah, we hit our targets maybe 3/4 of the way through the actual campaigns. So, 3/4 of the way through the Black Friday period.
Yeah.
So that was really exciting. And I found that most people that I asked that ran promotions during that period were e-com businesses.
Yeah.
So, it makes sense generally because we're in the lead up to Christmas, but you'll also find that this is a heavy period that people are actually launching their programs. And this can become a bit of an issue if you're running ads during this period, because the ads can get really expensive and lost within the actual Black Friday campaigns. Because I had a couple of other Facebook ads experts message me and ask me for some tips and tricks on what they could do during this season, because they were actually finding that they weren't getting much engagement on their service-based or their course creator ads. And we suspect that it's primarily due to the fact that people are looking for more of those kind of product-based purchases during this period. And so I know that you ran some Black Friday?
Yeah, yeah. I was about to say that, like, I'm service based as opposed to ecom, but like I decided to just test the waters just to see what it was like to run Black Friday sales, because I never actually have sales at all ever with my products, with my services, sorry. But I decided to just wing it this time and just see. So I've been trialing that with almost everything that I'm doing, just throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks for the moment. So I decided to run the ads, and I think it was just, how many products did I have? Or services? It was like 4, I think.
4. There was 4.
Yeah, there was 4. And I got 1 sale on the lowest offer throughout the entire time. And I had it going for 6 days, I think, 6 or 7 days. So it was really interesting. So definitely my ad spend was a lot higher than actually, no. The sale that I got covered the entire ad spend, which is fine, which is fantastic. But like, it just means I broke like even, so it didn't actually work for me. And an interesting point I think that you made was the fact that people are looking for something specific and looking for e-commerce stuff like products as opposed to courses or any kind of service-based stuff. Because I think we didn't say this just now, but off air, you've mentioned to me that people have like course fatigue. By the time we come to the end of the year, no one can be fucked.
Yep. Yeah, and I totally feel that. It's
yeah,
people get excited and they want to maybe purchase courses going into next year, or knowing that the ones that they're purchasing this year are going into the following year. And generally with large ticket items like programs, people have their eye on them for a while. Like there's usually a 180 days minimum from when someone joins your email list or someone finds out about you before they even go ahead and make a purchase.
Yeah.
So I guess the duration of time from when they first meet you to, and the journey that they take from when they purchase, is a lot longer. So what we were finding with service providers and even I guess e-com stores was that most of the purchases were by people that were already on people's email lists, or that by clients or customers that were already familiar with the brand.
Yeah.
Which reinforces the fact that people like me were actually buying things that they already knew they needed. I was already a warm customer
100%.
of all of those people that I bought from. I already knew about them. There wasn't any random impulse purchases by brands that I didn't know. So during those periods, I think we have to make sure that we're targeting our warm audiences through ads and things, because they are going to be our hottest leads during that time. I mean, they're our hottest leads at any time, but during those seasons, it's going to be...
It increases. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it's really good that you jumped in and tested out the ads, because that's the only way to know. But it's also important to remember that it's hard for Facebook to know who's going to buy if you haven't run those kind of ads before. So it does need longer to be able to understand your audience and see who starts to make a purchase. But for a lot of new brands, this can be difficult because they don't have the ads budget, and it's worth sometimes it's worth giving it a shot if you know that you're selling those programs already, because Facebook ads is a scaling tool. It isn't a miracle worker. But yeah, if you know that you're already getting sales, it is worth trying out. But just know, I just want everyone that's listening to know that the more that you sell, the more Facebook understands the attributes of people that will buy, and the more it will start to find more of those like people to sell to. And I don't know if I mentioned it a minute ago, but when I did my survey, I asked people if they bought courses, services, products, or nothing at all. And 70% came back and said that they bought products. Yeah. And 30% said they hadn't bought anything. So so that just shows you that kind of reinforces everything that I've just spoken about.
That's really interesting. I thinking about my own behavior on Black Friday. I purchased things that I knew that I needed for Christmas, so things that were already on my list. But I also mentioned before, I bought a course from somebody, but I had been following this girl for like nearly 2 years, and I really wanted to do this course. And she was just like, I never do this, but I'm just going to throw it in and just go, I'm having a Black Friday sale. And her course is 50% off. And I was like,
oh, wow.
Oofed. It was like, it was in pounds as well. So the conversion is already significantly higher. But I was like, I mean, I've been looking for this course for ages. I know I want to do it. So I ended up purchasing it. So that was my only very impulsive thing. But otherwise, everything was quite strategic, like yours as well. Mine, like a lot of Christmas presents were from Black Friday. So
Yes, I know it's a great time to buy because generally when there's sales on, it's things that nobody wants. It's the leftover stuff. But during Black Friday, it's sales on things across the entire store.
yes.
So it's like the most valuable sales that you can get because you can make such huge savings, especially when you're making multiple purchases. I know for my family, I know there's like minimum 20 to 30 gifts that I had to buy. And I think I was like shopping for 4 days straight, like between going to the shops and actually shopping online as well.
Wow.
Yeah, it was exhausting, but it was fun at the same time. So, but what you were saying actually just, again, reinforces everything that our survey showed. It's that you were already a warm audience member of that person. Yeah. And even though it was impulsive, it wasn't necessarily impulsive in the sense that you had maybe planned subconsciously that one time you wanted to get it, but the objection was maybe the price, and that was taken away by the fact that it was 50% off. So it wasn't a planned purchase for Black Friday, but it was maybe a one-day item.
Yeah, 100%. You're absolutely right. Definitely. yeah, exactly. So looking at your current clients and what they achieved through Black Friday, what was the most like significant someone had as a return on their investment?
Oh, I think, let me just double check the number. I should have came in with this, but we had on the first day, we had a really high ROAS. So on the first day, we had a return on ad spend of 109 for one of our clients. So basically what that means is for every dollar you spend on Facebook ads, you get your ROAS is how much you get in return. So for every dollar that this client or customer, our clients spend, they got $110 in return, which is like huge because generally people, aim for at least or a minimum of $4. So $4, you get $4 for every dollar that you spend. So clearly people were just waiting for that sale to happen because it's a very popular, online e-commerce store that I run ads for. Well, we've grown it over the years that we've worked together. But yeah, it was a huge return, and that was one where we definitely smashed the target 3 quarters through and had our best month all year for the business. So it was exciting.
That is super exciting. Like honestly, having $110 per like dollar you spend, that's intense. Like that is actually incredible figures.
Yeah, and if people think about that for their own business, it's pretty exciting. So if even if you spend $100 and get 1,000 in return, this would be like, going even more into the tens of thousands. So yeah, it's a massive difference. It was a massive result, and we're so stoked. And the ROAS continued pretty strong throughout the entire campaign. Yes, you always get most of the purchases at the beginning and at the end of the sale because that's when you're pushing it the most.
100%.
And especially with the product, this particular store has limited unique kinds of items. Yeah. So basically people knew that if they didn't hurry up and get it, that the stock would be sold out. So amazing. That also helps drive.
That definitely helps. Yeah. Because it's like, it actually is proper limited stock. We're not just saying this as a scarcity thing. Like it's actual proper limited stock. Yeah.
That's exactly right. And I mean, stores can still do that even if they don't have products that are like that. Like you could say the first 100 people only get this discount or something, because that's another way that you can help drive sales, because people don't like making decisions. So you have to help them along by giving them a reason to jump over the fence.
Yeah, 100%. And coming from the back of Black Friday now and going into the Christmas period, people may have spent a shit ton of money on Black Friday. So how are we going to get people to spend money with us again through the Christmas period?
Well, funnily enough, just randomly, I was away with a bunch of girlfriends in the city overnight on Saturday night. And so many of them had said that they didn't actually buy anything during Black Friday and they still all had to do their shopping. So it sounds like there were people that were really planned and got their Christmas shopping done. And it sounds like there's plenty of people that still aren't. Like I know for one of our particular customers, she was saying so many of their, so one of our clients, all of their customers, not all, like a lot of their customers have already done all their Christmas shopping in their store. But it sounds like there's still so many people that need to do their shopping. And I saw on the news this morning that the trend is still is going upwards for retail shopping. So it doesn't seem like there is an issue. And I know even for like course creators and things like that, I'm seeing so many people launching at the moment because they're with the messaging, let's lock this in and get you started fresh for the new year straight away in January.
Yeah.
And which I always find interesting because I find that there's so many people, these people that target mums with kids, and I would think, oh, do they really have the time during January to be actually doing these programs? Like, it's much easier for them to kick off once the kids have gone back to school in February. This is for people with Australian, obviously, students, but if you're international, that kind of doesn't matter as much. But there is always that exciting factor that if people are starting afresh in January, people are more inclined to maybe do a program that starts in the new year. They don't want to do something that's starting at the end of the year. They're tired, they're busy with their Christmas shopping, wrapping up, close. So
it's like that last hurrah. It's kind of like, we know 2022 may have sucked for you. We know you don't like going to, your office 9 to 5. You want to take that side hustle to a full-time gig, like that type of messaging, I think works really, really well towards the end of the year because, I know that would captivate a lot of people that in my own sphere, like,
yes,
get your brand done now, because once you hit that January mark, then you have to start thinking about, oh crap, now I have to go back to work. What if over the Christmas period you really hustled and you got your little business up and running and became more than a little business and it became your full-time gig? You know what I mean? So I guess it's just about not pushing, but like talking about that type of messaging and seeing if that sticks, especially running ads. Do you find that the copy is the most important?
Do I find that the copy is the most important? Well, generally the image or the media first is what stops the scroll. So people look at that, and then generally next they look at the headline and then the copy. So it's definitely extremely important in order to draw your target audience in. But generally the media is the first thing that people look at because that is what is going to stop them scrolling. But then, of course, whatever you write in your copy is going to be a continuation of your messaging.
Absolutely.
So that needs to reflect, what the pain points and desires and the objections and solutions of your particular target audience. So, but I definitely agree, like, it depends on what kind of business you're running and your target audience as to when you should be putting out your specific offers and launching throughout the year. So for someone like you, where people are excited to go into the new year with a new brand, new me, then maybe, new brand. So, I can totally appreciate that. It depends on the type of business that you have. And same with things like photographers. People want fresh photos, fresh websites. So there's so many different areas and different services and things that people can offer, or courses that would be relevant for kicking off in January.
Yeah, definitely. So going back to the creative that you need to use for the ads, what do you think has been working best? Is it static images? Is it videos? Is it carousels? What has been performing best for your current clients?
Funnily enough, at the moment, it has been things that are look like they're in gift boxes or gift wrapped and things like that.
Yeah,
fair enough. People are feeling tired and they just want to have something that's easy to give as a gift. But I think because it's kind of semi-user generated, like in the sense that people feel like it's gift wrapped, it's ready to go. And so that's actually been working surprisingly well. Everything is worth testing because I know so many, for example, service-based businesses that say that video content works well for them. But then just as equally, when you start talking about it, I know so many that have said just a static photo with exactly what you're offering on the photo works just as well. So I think it's important to test, a bunch of like different kinds of media. So if you're e-commerce, maybe do some user generated content, like whether it be videos or images, but also do maybe just an image of your product or do a slideshow of different products and just see what resonates with your audience. And likewise with if you're an if you're a service-based or if you are a course creator, think about doing a video, but then also think about doing an image that maybe has a bit of writing that says that what you're selling or what you're inviting them to, and then maybe just have a particular design that doesn't have an image of you and work out what works best and then start sending more of your money to that particular creative.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, so coming into the Christmas season then, we'll separate them. So go, what can e-commerce stores do in order to best prepare for their ads? And then we'll talk about service-based.
Yeah, so I mean, I think it's really important for e-commerce stores to have a campaign that's probably based around the Christmas period. And then obviously that will need to transition out on the 25th. And then so obviously scheduling your ads so that they finish on that particular date.
Yeah.
So I would be pushing the Christmas period and gifting Christmas presents and creating your strategies around that. We still run other types of ads during this period that aren't necessarily Christmas related.
Okay.
So we'll run the campaign side by side. So we'll run ads based on our new products or the ones that we know are selling the best. But we'll also, it's probably more of our most popular products and ones that we know that sell the best. And then it will be ones that we're pushing for Christmas. So you might have special offers or promotions during this period, or you may have things that you know that people spend a lot on during this period because they're easy to gift or they're affordable. We also have a number of our clients that have specific areas on their website that like Mecca does, like gifts under this amount, gifts under 50, gifts under 200. People love that. I know for myself, when I go into Mecca, which is a makeup store for anyone that's overseas, it's the Mecca of makeup and it's the best. But basically they have gifts in like different group ranges and like price ranges, and it's super helpful. So depending on what you want to spend, you can just go to that particular section, whether it be in store or online, and you can see the entire range of things that they offer.
Yeah, I love that too. I do that with the Body Shop. So I was doing that the other day. I was like looking for a gift on the Body Shop, and I was like, I'll go to like that little section and go gifts under $50. And I was actually thinking that same thing. I was like, wow, this is actually just so clever, because they're just like, let's just bunch everything in one place so that it's easy for someone to navigate so they actually check out faster.
Oh, it's true. And it's not hard to do. Generally, it's just like a tagging feature on the back of your website. So it makes total sense. Another thing that's super important during this period is shipping. So you need to put the dates up for, if you offer depending on what kind of shipping you offer, you need to perhaps put a warning in your banner about when you think the cutoff period is for them to order and actually receive it by Christmas. A number of my clients are actually doing free express shipping up until Christmas, which is super nice, I guess, addition to their service, to their offering.
Yeah.
So that's something else that you really want to consider. But then when it comes to service-based, I think it's in the messaging and I guess getting people ready for the new year. So, I would be basing most of my offerings, if I was a service-based business, around that. And even if I was a course creator, basing my offering around getting ready for the new year, kicking it off, getting more leads during next year, converting more people into bookings. So that would be how they differ. Now, in terms of whether to run ads over the Christmas period, they are kind of the same across both. So if you are closed during the Christmas period, or if you can't actually deliver products or services to your customer or respond to emails about people inquiring, I would suggest pausing your ads, because there's no point putting your ads on if you can't deliver. You're just going to annoy and frustrate your audience and buyers and provide a poor user experience. So
that makes sense.
Yeah. So if you're only closed for a few days, then I would just leave the ads going. But then if your audience is invested during the period, then I would actually consider actually scaling the ads up and adding more budget to them.
Yeah.
And if you aren't sure at all what your audience is doing, because you've never done them before during this period, you can just be flexible and adjust the ads in real time, which is kind of annoying, I know, if you want to have a bit of a holiday break. But essentially, like, we're always kind of looking at our ads anyway.
Yeah, 100%. I know when I've got ads on, I'm checking them like every morning, every lunchtime before I go to bed. I'm just making sure that they're running okay.
They're still alive. Are they getting any sales? What's my ROAS?
Exactly.
So, if you can, look at past data to make your decisions. And if you don't have that, just adjust them in real time. And so if your audience is really interested during this time and you think they're just going to be sitting around on the lounge during Christmas watching Netflix, or, doing long drives to beaches and things like that, where, that I would suggest maybe scaling your ads up and maybe adding more budget. But if you know it's a period where they might be busy with their kids and they're probably not on their phone much, then you could consider leaving the ads on and just scaling them back. So, but if you turn your ads off for more than 7 days, it resets the learning. So often it's better if you can to just reduce the ad amount as opposed to turning them off completely. But yeah, if you can't deliver products for a few weeks without your customers being frustrated, then I would suggest, turning them off.
So that's absolutely fair enough. It's such an I feel like Facebook ads is such a beast. Like it took me so long just to even understand. I still don't actually understand them properly, like thoroughly, really. But I feel like once you know them, or you've got someone like yourself to help coach you through it, you really can get such a good return on like your ad spend. So I think it's definitely worth it, in my opinion anyway.
Yeah, I mean, we see really good results for our clients, whether they be service-based clients that are trying to get people to download a lead magnet, or also course creators do that as well, our course creator clients, but also people that just want to inquire. So we get for example, photographers who come to us and ask us to help them get more inquiries. And we've had some this year that have grown that much that they've actually told me, turn the ads off. I'm exhausted. I'm burnt out. I've got too many clients. I now have to register for GST.
That's amazing though. What a good problem to have.
Good problem to have. So yeah, it's really exciting to be part of people's journeys. It's really where they're growing that much.
100%. Another thing,
and again, you go.
Oh yeah, sorry. I was just saying, there's a bit of a lag, so I think I missed what you said. But I was just thinking about what you're talking about, the type of people that come to your ads through a specific time. And I think it's super, super important to know who your audience is, especially if you are a new business, and figuring out who you're actually trying to target, I think would be really important. And then figure out your messaging before you even touch ads. So like, just a little bit of a side note here, but that's why branding is so important because you have to understand all that stuff first before you can run the ads successfully.
Definitely. So, I mean, one of the first things that you should ever do, even when you create your business, is to get an understanding of who you're targeting with the products or services you sell. And, often that does evolve, and sometimes you may not know who they are when you first start, and you will eventually get a hold on it.
100%.
But a good way, if you've been around for, 6 to 12 months, is to jump on your insights on your social media following and check out who is engaging with you. Make sure you set up Google Analytics from day one when you have a website, so you can track where people are coming from, what particular traffic is referring. So where they're referring from. So whether it be emails, social media, ads, etc. Whether they're, what gender they are, what age they are. All different things. You can get that kind of information. You can also send out a survey if you have an email list. And basically ask a number of different questions. So that's a really good way to understand who your target audience is. So it just provides some parameters for us when we first start targeting ads, but it's also, you can also be quite flexible with your ads. So we generally test different interests against each other within the ads, and we will do little things like, if we think our age group that we're targeting is between 23 and 35, we may add on 5 years as a bit of a buffer to stretch out that audience and increase our pool of people a little bit and see who actually is buying, because we just like to give Facebook a bigger pool of people to choose from. But you can test out different interests and behavioral factors on Facebook anyway, but it is good to have a bit of an idea of the country that you want to sell in, whether you're primarily selling to males, females, etc., and their age bracket.
100%. I agree. Okay. All right. So then, to summarize and to wrap up, what do you think is like the number one tip that you would, or advice you would give anybody in business for coming into the Christmas period, and potentially January, February, like quarter one? Like, would you change your strategy? Would you keep the same strategy? What would you do in Q1 next year? And then how people can find you so they can you can help them with their ads.
Awesome. So essentially, my tip is at the moment, it's to keep or I guess create a campaign that is very seasonal. Everything at the moment right now is around everyone's just wanting to finish off the year and get to Christmas. Like, that's the most exciting part.
Yeah.
I would definitely have a Christmas campaign if you're e-com. And then, I mean, and then in terms of like service-based and course creators, you could be looking at things that are targeting maybe the pain points of the end of the year, like whether people are tired and burnt out, and then how to kick them off into the new year strong. When we go into the new year, people are get really excited. They're setting new goals, and they are all about, they've got this newfound energy.
Yeah.
So that's when you want to move your messaging to talking about, this is the new year.
New me.
Yeah, new me, new business.
Yeah.
I'm going to get sales this year. How can we do it?
Yeah.
So, and then I guess if you're e-com, you can go into targeting your most popular products and maybe things, if you've got them, that help people kick off into the new year. So, some of our clients have products that are maybe revolved around calendars and diaries and things like that. So that's something that you definitely want to be pushing in the new year. So pushing products, and or if you're e-com, it could even be things like the season. So updating summer wardrobe.
That's true.
Jewelry or clothes and things like that.
Active wear, because everyone likes to join the gym in January. So
it's true. That's a good one.
Yeah.
So it's thinking about the seasons you're in. If you're in Australia, obviously, if you're in the US and in the other in the northern hemisphere, it would be quite different.
Yeah.
But also then again thinking about that you are in the new year, so targeting your campaigns around that. So I guess to summarize that tip, it would be think about the season that you're in and the part of the year, and use that to propel people into a sale, and tie your messaging around that and the things that excite people about that particular season and time of year that you're in.
Incredible. Love it. Okay, so coming into the Christmas period, going to the new year, people are excited. They're going to want to start running ads. How can they find you so they can actually get this done properly, so they actually do see a return of investment?
Yes. Oh, yes. So you can find me at missmarketing.com.au, and you can contact me there. Otherwise, you can send me a DM on miss_n_marketing. That is my Instagram handle. And we also have little conversion campaign workshops that we have on our website for e-com. And then we have another one that's for service-based and course creators. So basically it is a workshop that goes for a couple of hours, and it takes you through how to get leads if you are a service-based or course creator, and then get sales if you are a e-com business on using Facebook ads. So we take you through how to set up a campaign and test and optimize your ads, and view the results, and then basically change your ads based on those results. So that's another way that is a quick and easy way to get started with ads if you've got a new business and don't have a budget to have someone to manage them for you. So yeah, you can go to missmarketing.com.au/learn to find all the programs and workshops that we offer.
Amazing. And look, I highly recommend Nikki. I've known Nikki for literally all my life, but I have been working with Nikki for 2.5 years since starting my business. And honestly, I can say the amount of stuff that I have learnt just by having a conversation is like priceless. So like you have to just make contact at least.
Oh, that warms my heart so much. Thank you. That's so kind. And it's so nice to have you to bounce off. Like, it's so funny. Lauren started her business a few years ago, and I mean, yeah, we've known each other since being so young, but like we find each other again in this sphere and be able to bounce off each other. And Lauren has been such a great support for me in my business, and it's so good that we have complementary services to help each other.
Absolutely. It's just so good, isn't it? Like, to find somebody who can have that really strong collaboration with. So like, if you followed me for a while, you know I'm a designer. So I help Nikki with all of her design stuff. And I throw her in all my courses that I do, and then vice versa. So that way we actually know what's going on, so we can talk about it properly to people, because we've actually done the course, we've done the program, whatever, because we believe in each other that much.
Yeah, it's so nice. And funnily enough, Lauren thinks she's not good at ads. She's like, she knows way more than most people. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. It's true though. It's true.
But it is nice to like have someone to, like, if you are feeling lonely or burnt out in your business, like I think it's really important to have some peers around that you can bounce ideas off. Like I know that some of the people that I get on with the most now are business owners, because because you have so much in common. But not just that, I feel like they're such ambitious go-getters, and you can just relate on so many levels. So I know so many women in business that even clients that I just, you speak to nearly every day. No one that I speak to as much as you. I think we
It's true. I think it's like so much, like daily.
It's just nice to have someone to check in and say, how does this sound? Or just bounce ideas off.
Morning. Do you have a busy day? Like,
yes,
it's true. Yeah.
I think I really just encourage people to, especially during this season, if you're tired and burnt out and feeling lonely, join some kind of networking, or reach out to someone in your, I guess, in your following, or that that started a business that you can relate to, because it will honestly make the world of difference. So
100%. And in saying that, my DM is always open if anyone wants to have a chat and wants a new friend. And I know the same goes for Nikki as well. So
100%.
Well, thank you so much, Nikki, for coming on. Nikki, as I mentioned, is going to be a monthly guest on the podcast. So next month in January, we're going to be talking about SEO, I believe.
Yes, and I'm super excited. I just wanted to say that to be an ongoing potty guest. So first of all, thanks for the invitation. And yes, next month we are going to be talking about how to get more eyeballs on your website, because so many people create a website and think that the traffic is going to magically appear, but unfortunately that does not happen. There are certain actions that you need to take to get people from making a search in Google to actually finding your website. So I just want to educate people on that a little bit, so that they can make the right decision and get more targeted traffic coming to their website and more leads and sales in 2020,
which is what we want. So stay tuned for that one, because that's coming out in January. But otherwise, I hope you guys enjoy listening to Nikki and talk about Facebook ads, and I hope everyone has a fantastic Christmas, and good luck with running your Facebook ads if you choose to do so.
Yes, and if you have a question, shoot me a DM as well about your Facebook ads. So Merry Christmas, and thanks again as well.
Thank you.